минуты начнется финал Суперлиги чемпионата Украины по регби. Аплодисменты. Регби-лиг, извиняюсь. Приглашаем команды на торжественное построение. Итак, сегодняшнее противостояние состоится борьба за первое место между командой LVIV TIGERS, город Львов. Ваши аплодисменты! И команда, которая является 12-кратным действующим чемпионом Украины, регион 13, город Харьков. А сейчас звучит гимн Украины.
Леша, у нас 5 минут.
Hello everybody, and a very good morning to our European audience who've joined us for the European Rugby League Grand Final season, if you like. And today our focus is on Ukraine in Eastern Europe for the Ukraine Super League Grand Final of season 2021. Our pictures live from Kharkiv, the stadium here, the Stadium Dynamo or Dynamo Stadium, just 4 kilometres from Kharkiv central city, and the stage set, as you can see, the Premiership Trophy to the bottom of your screen as we get set for this one. Hi everybody, I'm Jason Costigan. Great to have your company today, and a very good morning to our European audience, particularly our English-speaking audience in the UK, especially along the M62 corridor in the north of England, a rugby league heartland, of course. And congratulations on that note to England, successful in their friendly overnight at Castleford against Jamaica. Very much a warm-up, of course, ahead of the Rugby League World Cup, which is now less than 12 months away in England in 2022. Also, a very good morning to our English-speaking audience, of course, in other parts of the Northern Hemisphere, including Ireland, and also across the Atlantic into the United States, Canada, and English-speaking parts of the Caribbean. Of course, we have an audience in the Far East, in places like Singapore, and in the similar time zone, of course, our friends on the west coast of the great southern land in Western Australia, where, of course, there's plenty of talk about NRL expansion and perhaps a team back in the city of Perth. Great to have you with us in the early evening on Saturday night. And, of course, all those people along the eastern seaboard in Australia, in cities such as Sydney, Brisbane, the Gold Coast, Newcastle, Wollongong, Cairns, Townsville, Mackay, the national capital, Canberra, and those country centres west of the Great Divide, Wagga Wagga, places like Toowoomba, Tamworth, and Dubbo and Bathurst. Great to have you with us, where rugby league is so much part of your DNA. A very good evening also to our friends in Papua New Guinea. Many people in the rugby league world perhaps unaware that in Papua New Guinea, the sport of rugby league, of course, is the national game. And again, congratulations to Lay on winning the domestic competition only recently, the Digicel Cup. Well done to them. I'm sure they're still partying after taking the premiership back across the Owen Stanley Ranges. But wherever you're watching in Papua New Guinea, where they have rugby league up there like a religion in places such as Port Moresby, Daru, Wewak, Madang, Lay, of course, Milne Bay, Goroka, Mount Hagen, perhaps in Rabaul. Nice to have you with us. And of course, those people watching throughout the Pacific Islands in places such as Samoa, Fiji, Tonga, Niue, no doubt about it, you love your rugby league too. And of course, our great friends in New Zealand. Nice to have you with us. I spent a lot of time, of course, rugby league, very much on the improve in New Zealand. And I was very much privileged to be part of that World Cup success back in 2008, broadcasting the World Cup final from Suncorp Stadium 13 years ago, when the now retired Benji Marshall was among the heroes for the Men in Black. So no doubt, wherever you're watching throughout the rugby league universe, in the English-speaking rugby league world, nice to have you with us again. I'm Jason Costigan, calling the action from Studio One, our pictures live, coming out of Kharkiv in Ukraine, where the temperature, they tell me, is just above freezing, about 1 degree Celsius. And certainly it is nothing out of the ordinary for this part of the world, as the Eastern European Rugby League focus is on the nation that is Ukraine, where there have been great steps forward in the development of the game over the last 15 years. In fact, Ukraine Rugby League celebrates its 15th anniversary next month. So happy birthday to the Ukraine Federation of Rugby League, the UFRL, and in particular to Arta Matarossian, who is nowadays the El Supremo of the Federation. And I know that Arta, having come from coaching and playing in the past, has been the Pied Piper of rugby league in Ukraine. I don't want to embarrass him too much, but he has been very much central to the development of the game in that part of the world. So the grand final coming up between Kharkiv Legion 13 and the KIBC LVIV Tigers. And it is certainly a mouth-watering prospect coming up here from the Dynamo Stadium. The playing surface looks to me in terrific condition, it must be said, despite the cold conditions. And again, just repeating our pictures courtesy of our friends at KSTV. And we are streaming live around the rugby league universe. Very much a very good initiative, in fact, by the UFRL, because traditionally this game is only broadcast in Ukrainian for obvious reasons. But today, a big step forward for the development of the game, showcasing the Ukrainian Super League as it's branded up. And I'll come to more on that in a moment as we get set for kickoff here this afternoon, 2 o'clock local time, so not too far away. But traditionally, of course, the game broadcast in Ukrainian, as we see the two teams coming out for battle in the Premiership decider in Kharkiv, the Ukrainian Super League, the title on the line here in Kharkiv this afternoon. Legion 13 on the left of your screen. There's the trophy, the spoils to the victor, and their opponents, the Lviv Tigers. And Kharkiv is the scene of the battle here this afternoon. Great to have you with us. Referee Denis Chernev, he's been part of the furniture in terms of refereeing in Ukraine since 2010. And you can see the Legion 13 coming together. They have dominated everything on offer basically from the get-go. They're going for 13 premierships in a row. They've dominated cup football, which is based on the English Challenge Cup, of course, a great piece of silverware in the north of England with that final every year at Wembley as a rule. And they have dominated both the knockout competition for the cup and also the championship. And so we have a ceremonial kickoff here. And on that note, we might also acknowledge the City Council, the Kharkiv City Council, which has been very supportive of rugby league, and also acknowledging the achievements on and off the field of the team in maroon, the Legion 13. And just to paint a picture and to state the obvious, your eyes aren't deceiving you. I've only just seen the teams a few minutes ago, so we're going to do our very best in what is my second international grand final. But Legion 13, who will get us underway, running from right to left on your screen in the maroon. Yes, you did not miss that. Roman numerals on the back of their jerseys. So we're underway here in Kharkiv, and it's the LVIV Tigers with first use of the Steeden. Great to have you with us. Let's get it on. Underway. Our pictures, courtesy of our host broadcaster, KSTV, and it's the LVIV Tigers with first use of the football. And we'll try and get to their team lineup in a moment. It came through in English just a moment ago before we joined you with our live coverage on the European Rugby League Facebook page. And it's the LVIV Tigers who are the underdogs. They are the pride of Western Ukraine, and they've come to Kharkiv today looking to get a gorilla off their backs. It's no monkey. It's a dead set gorilla. It's probably King Kong. And now it's the last, and here's the kick. If you're new to rugby league, you get 6 tackles to use the football, and then you will have to surrender it. So in this case, we've seen the kick downtown by the LVIV Tigers and Kharkiv Legion, as I say, going for 13 premierships in a row here today on home soil. The grand final last year played in Lviv in Western Ukraine. Today they have home ground advantage. And there's a kick for touch, I believe, for Kharkiv Legion 13. 13 of their 17 players, or at least 13 of the 17 in their national team that I called only recently in Belgrade in the Euro B Championship, they came from the one club that is the defending champions, the team that's got the ball. Samarenko with a tap restart here as we get underway. And it's the Legion 13 in great field position here, 10 metres out. Let's see if they can put their foot to the floor in the opening minutes here. This is the Ukraine Super League Grand Final of 2021, and they're going straight up the middle. I think that might be Yerkin. He sucks them in like a hoover. He takes some stopping, and he's only centimetres shy of the goal line. Battle stations early on here for the Lviv Tigers, looking to break their duck, looking to end the dominance of the team in possession as the Kharkiv Legion 13 spread the ball out wide. Now they're going to give it plenty of oxygen, plenty of air, and let's see if we can pick up a number plate. Pretty difficult here getting the teams only minutes before kickoff. We'll do our best. 10 metres away is the team in maroon, the champions, the long-time dominators of Ukrainian Rugby League. Now with a sortie from dummy half, Verprick goes close to the line. He got there. It's a try. First points to Kharkiv Legion. They lead 4-0. Now the shot at goal from bang in front. Up go the flags at the northern end of the ground. And referee Chernov, who's the most experienced referee in the land, blows the whistle, confirming what the touch judges just indicated. And I'm pretty sure it's the loose forward here, Sherbina. It was Sherbina in the headgear through some very flimsy Tigers defence. And the champs will play from in front. They lead 6-0. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the Rugby League universe. This broadcast courtesy of our host broadcaster in Kharkiv, KSTV. Local audience getting the telecast in Ukrainian. You're getting it in English. back underway into the next passage of play here at the Dynamo Stadium. And the field in very good condition. And just repeating, if you joined us late, almost close to 0 in Kharkiv for the Premiership decider. And just to reiterate how strong this Legion 13, the team with the Roman numerals that you can see on the backs of the jerseys, they have not only dominated the domestic game, but in 2008, before the collapse of rugby league in Russia, they competed in the Russian Super League. And Kharkiv Legion 13 finished 3rd, as I recall, in that domestic competition, the then branded up Russian Super League. But it's Kharkiv Legion here with their minds on the job in season 21. That was 3 years ago in Russia when they took on the best across the border. And just repeating, they've won 12 premierships on offer, as well as dominating the cup competition. And it's Kharkiv Legion in possession. Early on, 6-0 they lead on the scoreboard. The loose forward Sherbina getting the opening try as the defending premier spread the Steeden once more. And all of a sudden, Lviv Tigers, they're at 6s and 7s as Kharkiv Legion come right in front of our camera position. And look at Verprik. Verprik, one of those players who helped himself to the party and that big feast, that record victory over Russia, their first ever win over Russia in the recent Euro B championships in Belgrade, as Kharkiv Legion with a crack out of dummy half. About 30 metres away. And the last has been signalled here by referee Denis Shezes. We're getting some messages from all around the rugby league universe tonight, even from the odd NRL coach down under. You never know who's watching the broadcast on the European Rugby League Facebook page, as we see the last signal by the referee, and it's the defending champions who spread the ball once more. Seems to be an interruption with our coverage here, with our pictures. Let's hope that that kicks back in, because at the moment the screen's frozen. The wonders of modern technology. I remember when I was a young TV reporter, the news director said, if we haven't got a camera, we'll just have to sketch it. Well, I'm not very good at art. Let's hope this picture kicks back in. And it does just now. Not sure if you're having the same technical problems back at home, but please bear with us as Kharkiv Legion go on the attack. So more defensive work. And you can see some of these players keeping warm with leggings and the like. Legion 13, the team in maroon, leading 6 points to 0. And we've got a whistle here from the referee, and I think he might have spotted an obstruction here, and it is. So that's the call from the man in the middle, the Ukrainian Rugby League official, as we look at the replay. And quite clearly you can see Sherbina, who for mine has been extremely prominent in the opening exchanges of this 2021 Premiership decider. Bit of a delay here in Kharkiv. And while we see the touch finder, which will relieve the pressure on the Lviv Tigers, just a reminder of the teams in the national competition, and that is absolutely dreadful. Chop your foot off. That was almost unforgivable. Not able to find touch after you've soaked up so much pressure. And I'm sure the Lviv Tigers coaching staff, well, they'd be livid. And they'd be livid in Lviv as well, in Western Ukraine, as we see the raging hot favourites take play down to within about 20 metres away. The running track circling the playing surface here, a facility that was opened in 1931 and obviously celebrating its 90th anniversary this year. rebuilt after being badly damaged in World War II, a big refurbishment in the early 1970s, and then some more modifications 10 years ago. As we see Kharkiv Legion with some fancy play, inside ball. This tackle has to be made, but they can't stop them. Kharkiv Legion extend the lead. Trouble brewing here at Kharkiv because the locals are running hot. 10-0, kick to come. Well, we expected Kharkiv Legion to be a cut above the rest. And early days, it must be said, but so far so good. And another shot at goal coming up, and it's from close range once more. This is not a good look. It's scattered in the in goal. Early days, as I say, but not a good look whatsoever. Land Rover, an iconic name in the automobile industry, adorning the jerseys of Kharkiv Legion. That is some statement, isn't it, in Eastern European Rugby League? From close range, slight angle, left footer. I've never seen a grand final like this with players scattered like 10 pins in the in goal so early in a game. And I've called quite a few grand finals since the late 1980s. Shot at goal, off the boot. And up go the flags. Well, at least that's what we think. Yes, up they go. So it's 12 points to 0. Kharkiv Legion 13 leading the LVIV Tigers. And the referee, Dennis Chernev, gets us back underway. And all of a sudden, we've got LVIV Tigers in possession. And as fate would have it, we just haven't got that team line up in front of us, so we'll hopefully get it at some stage sooner than later. But when you're actually calling the game, doing your own research, setting up the studio and doing your own makeup and a bit more, I've got a bit on my plate, and hence we may have to wait for that team lineup. So please bear with us. It's a turnover, and it's Kharkiv Legion in possession, far side of the field. And we've got a penalty here. Chernev, who, as I say, has been for more than a decade. He's the most experienced whistleblower in Ukraine. And Samarenko with a tap restart here for the defending premiers. And here comes Yerkin. Look at this big man, a man mountain. And as I said in Belgrade, I'd rather feed him for a day than a week. I think at one point I said if we were going through McDonald's, you'd have to take out a personal loan to pick up the tab. Here they come, Legion 13, looking for try number 3. Keep an eye out on Samarenko in the headgear, a dummy half. A scheming character, part of that Kharkiv connection in the national side that I called in the Euro B Championship just last week. And now they spread the ball. It comes across this back line and it goes astray. It breaks down, but eventually Verprick has got it under control and it's passed back on the infield. And they scramble the LVIV Tigers defence. Our camera from the sideline giving you the action almost as close as you can get it. They're in excellent field position here, looking for try number 3. And that pass has gone astray. hence we've heard a whistle in the background. I'm not sure if you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing, but the pictures are breaking up periodically, and we do apologise for that. So it's the LVIV Tigers in possession. Not surprisingly, Kharkiv Legion putting the blowtorch on them nice and early in the season 2021 decider, the Ukraine Super League Grand Final. I'm Jason Costigan, calling the action from down under. The venue is the city of Kharkiv. And the defending champions today looking to make it 13 premierships in a row. Ukrainian Rugby League celebrating its 15th birthday next month. Many happy returns. Perhaps we can come back and we'll go over in 5 years from now to call their 20th anniversary grand final. I know they were very disappointed after that shellacking of the Russians when they went within one score of putting on 100 points against the Bears to be overpowered by the Serbian team. And again, congratulations to the Serbs on getting through to Euro A, the top table of European Rugby League, alongside the likes of England and France. I know that's been very well received on the continent, but particularly obviously in Serbian Rugby League circles, making the national TV news. As we saw something similar, I believe, in Ukraine with their national team after they demolished Russia. But it's LVIV Tigers in possession, trailing 12-0, looking to just to steady the ship. And now they've made a bust. The Tigers, well, they're on the prowl. Not sure who it is. The cover defence getting across there for Kharkiv Legion, and it's still on for the Tigers. So here's an opportunity for the underdogs. Now out of dummy half. They're only about 9 metres away. So this is the only test of the game so far for the Legion 13 defence. I think that's Vorobel in jersey 1, 10 metres away. Slow play the ball. There's a chance if they go to the left. They look skinny on that side. That's exactly where they go. Watch this. Can they capitalise? The Tigers. With Savinkov. And they turn it over. Well, that's disappointing for the LVIV Tigers. The idea was right. The execution was poor on their first visit to put some pressure on the Kharkiv Legion defence. Samarenko moving into dummy half. And we've got a knock on. In fact, we've got a play the ball. Sorry, I beg your pardon. A penalty for the markers not lining up. The markers not marking correctly. You can see the signalling here from the referee, which is a flashback to years gone by. And there's been a lot of great work done in terms of the development of refereeing in Europe outside the UK. A number of referees in France, perhaps at an all-time low, but there has been work underway to rectify that. But not only in France, but also in places like Spain and Serbia, here in Ukraine. Some terrific work going on in Wales, and likewise in places like Ireland. And congratulations to all those people involved in the development of the refereeing side of the game. We see a replay here, and there's a try, I believe, being scored. We've got a whistle I can hear in the background as we see Kharkiv Legion. In fact, it's an intercept. It's a try against the run of play, or is it? Well, I can't see anything, but it would appear that Kharkiv Legion have scored a try. Apologies again for our pictures breaking up. So the shot at goal coming up here from the standoff in the number 6 jumper in Roman numerals in Alexander Skorbach, and he has it lined up. Skorbach, who mesmerized the Russians. He probably did some other things to them, but we can't say that in English or any other language. Shot at goal is on the money. Skorbach raises the flags once more. And on the scoreboard, Skorbach and co. lead 18-0. A refreshment on the run after making inroads and cashing in. Back underway from the midway stripe here in Kharkiv. 3-score game in the grand final, the Ukraine Super League grand final of 2021. A little bit of a push and shove in the play of the ball. Took some time. Kharkiv Legion now with some safety first football, bringing possession away, bringing the Steeden away from their danger zone, from that southern end of the ground. All the clubs in the competition bar the team in possession, the team that's looking to make it 13 championships in a row today, all of them have nicknames modelled on clubs in the English Super League, with the exception, as I say, of Kharkiv Legion 13. We've set the benchmark and then some since the formation of rugby league and the development of the competition in this part of the world. Kharkiv Legion with Skorbach. Bit of a dummy. Turns it back on the inside. I think that's Sherbina going straight up the middle. Running at the teeth of the Tigers' defence, and they look very timid, don't they? Great offload, great ball, great try. Kharkiv Legion, they're in again. Have a look at this on the replay. There was plenty of defence there, but they couldn't shut down the ball carrier. Lovely offload. That was the money ball. And Puchkov said, see you later. Defence unable to shut him down. And they get their 4th try of the afternoon and a little bit of showbiz right at the end. Have a look at this for a confronting sight. Legs pumping like pistons. Sherbina. Beautiful pass. Great skill, great execution, great finish. 24-0 it is in Kharkiv, and it may well be a long afternoon for the team from Western Ukraine. Another restart for the Tigers. Let's see if they can force a mistake here from the raging hot favourites. The team playing in the Roman numerals. First time I've ever seen it in rugby league. Perhaps my former colleagues at SBS television in Australia can message me and educate me perhaps on where else it may be happening in the sporting world. But never before in rugby league have I seen this. But it's the numbers on the scoreboard that count, not so much the numerals or the numbers on the backs of the jerseys. It's the scoreboard, and it is 24-0 in that respect to the team in maroon. And every time we see Scorbutch get the ball with his silky skills at standoff, a lovely player to watch. I'm sure the bench don't get sick of watching him. And they'd have to be happy because the team in possession, they have a mountain to climb in this grand final. A tap restart from the 20-metre line. LVIV Tigers looking for a spark, and that's dreadful. Oh my goodness. On play one, they come up with a shocker. Well, that is just a cardinal sin of the highest order. And now Kharkiv Legion will show no mercy, and you get a whistle in the background, and I suspect it's because they've gone close to scoring. Play on's the call. Here's Yerkin. He will take some stopping. Surely they can't repel him. Can he pop it out the back door? No. Great defence on this occasion from the Tigers. And that's a mix-up, and it's a knock-on. So the play breaks down for Kharkiv Legion at the northern end of the ground. I'm Jason Costigan calling the action from down under. Our pictures from Kharkiv in Ukraine. You are watching the 2021 Ukraine Rugby League Super League Grand Final, and a mix-up with the decoy runner getting in the way, and the referee providing the whistle, and relief, much needed relief for the team in the jerseys resembling the Castleford Tigers, or at least the Castleford Strip at some stage. I've actually had the pleasure of being at Weldon Road, the place they now call the Jungle, in the early days of the English Super League, and hats off to Castleford and the team from Cass at what's nowadays branded up as the Jungle, and of course was the scene of last night's friendly between the England Knights and Jamaica, and a big win it was for England. But of course, that is only an entree for the big clash, the cross-channel clash that comes out of Perpignan next weekend, as we see the LVIV Tigers showing some adventure. Well, the idea was right, but the execution was shocking. A kick in behind the line. Luckily for the LVIV Tigers, they maintained possession. But just getting back to that game next weekend, I'm looking forward to it. It's the International in Perpignan, where France host England in what will be a friendly, but I'm sure on the field it'll be anything but that. Here go the LVIV Tigers. Let's see what they've got in possession. Was that a knock-on? The referee says yes. Well, it was promising with a scout on that eastern sideline, but the referee spotting an infringement. The touch judge perhaps in excellent position, and you can just see with his body language there indicating that play could not continue because of the fumble. 24-0, 4 tries to zip. It's been all the team in maroon. LVIV Tigers from the scrum base. Let's see what they've got on this set. Can they put some pressure, at the very least, on the Kharkiv Legion defensive line? Poliv is a dummy half. We've got some sort of a team lineup now. Let's see if we can call some names. Vorabola's at fullback. Just to make matters worse, we've got player 11 playing fullback and player 16 on one of the wings. More scratchings than today's race fields down under on what was Caulfield Cup Day. And a sad day of racing, of course, with Sir Dragonet passing away. For all you mad punters, keen race goers who love their rugby league in Australia and New Zealand, no doubt, as we see Kharkiv Legion 13 with their playmaker, Alexander Skorbach, directing play like a traffic cop. Beautiful silky skills there. Play on's the call. And they keep promoting the ball, but now there's a knock on. Surely that's a fumble towards the opponent's goal line. And it is. So probably getting a little bit carried away. Jenny Verprick is the coach of Kharkiv Legion 13. And the bounce of the ball probably doing them no good, if there was any doubt whatsoever. And the referee will pack a scrum. Our pictures coming courtesy of KSTV. And to Vitali and the team, thank you for putting the show on, as you do so regularly, as I understand, for the Ukrainian audience who are getting this broadcast, obviously, in their native tongue, but a big step forward by the Ukrainian Federation of Rugby League, and hats off to the UFRL on collaborating with the European Rugby League and getting this game broadcast, live streamed from Kharkiv throughout the world, and obviously connecting with the English-speaking audience in the rugby league universe. 24-0 is the score. The LVIV Tigers from Western Ukraine in possession. Mikhailo Polov busy a dummy half for the Tigers. Bit of a flop coming in here from Kharkiv Legion. That should have been a penalty. Player on the ground in Savinkov. He got some extra treatment there, and I'm amazed they have got away with that. He's looking a little bit sorry, and not surprising after getting 2 tackles rolled into 1. He's down now, actually, on his left knee. We'll keep an eye on him. 24-0 is the score. Clock ticking away towards half-time. Jason Costigan's my name, calling the action from Kharkiv. Our pictures have frozen. It's close to freezing. And I can hear an applause in the background. I suspect we've got a try. It's a try to Kharkiv Legion. I didn't see it. I apologise for that. All of a sudden the pictures pop up, and in the centre of frame, centre of picture, the number 6 for Ukraine and also for his club side Kharkiv Legion, Alexander Skorbach. 28-0 is the score. 5th try of the afternoon. It's becoming a procession. Someone's getting a happy snap. Interesting angle, it must be said. Perhaps we'll see that on Instagram later this afternoon. Will be trending in Ukraine. Kick on its way from the sideline. It's a waved away from this angle just for a second. And the way that the European touch judges operate, not perhaps exactly like what we are used to in the Southern Hemisphere. As we watch the replay of that last try, I dare say, and have a look at him go. Scorbutch. He busts them wide open, and he goes past Adamuk. He turns him into a turnstile, and then it's a foot race. And Alexander Scorbutch scores for Legion 13. He plants the Steeden, and his team are coasting at 28 points to nil in the grand final of 2021. Slight delay here at the Dynamo Stadium. 4 kilometres from the city centre of Kharkiv. 90-year-old venue, steeped in tradition, obviously starting life as a soccer venue or football, depending on where you are watching this in the sporting world. And of course, Ukrainian Rugby League celebrating 15 years next month. We are back underway. And the LVIV Tigers, they must be getting sick and tired of these restarts. But as we come up towards Oranges, certainly among the standout performers for Kharkiv Legion, their playmaker, their standoff, as they say in the Northern Hemisphere, Alexander Scorbutch. He has very much been in the thick of proceedings, and his good mate, good friend at the base of the scrum at loose forward, Alexander Sherbina, also has been busy. 28 points to nil. Our pitch is freezing once more. It's not just the temperature that's freezing in Kharkiv, and we apologise for that. We've got another whistle, and I'm going to guess what's happened. Could be a try. Perhaps someone's gone over the sideline. We're about to find out. Well, we've got a scrum forming here. And we've got Kharkiv Legion on the attack. And making some meters before spreading the ball wide away from our camera position. We've got a player down. I'm not sure if it's a cramp or an injury. So, and again, a challenge here for the LVIV Tigers in defence. Kharkiv Legion on the attack. 5 tries so far. And this is turning into a rout. And they spread it in the corner. And they got there. Not sure who scored it. I suspect it was the winger on the far side of the field, and he's made it 32-0. And that player that I was mentioning before, I'm pretty sure this is the gentleman in question. He's being assisted from the ground. This is a great advert for Land Rover, I must say. Blue ribbon sponsor for the #1 rugby league team in Kharkiv. Kharkiv Legion 13. Although this is a body blow for the defending premiers. Notwithstanding the scoreline, and an impressive scoreline at that. 32 points to 0. Our picture's breaking down at times, and again, our apologies for that, and unable to pick up the try scorer on the far side of the field. Here from Studio 1. Nevertheless, we hope you're enjoying the telecast, and you can see the deciduous trees in the background making for attractive viewing. Not so attractive if you're watching this in Western Ukraine. Shot at goal is waved away. So it remains 32-0 as we look at the replay. And again, Scorbutch, clearly the standout for man of the match honours. Engaging the defence. Not sure if there was any obstruction there. I don't believe so. And Checheta, I think it is, scores out wide in jersey 20. And that's half-time. We've heard the siren go in the background. And at half-time, it's Kharkiv Legion 32. 32, I kid you not. LVIV Tigers, no score. The team in maroon have been outstanding in that first 40. I'm Jason Costigan. Trust you've enjoyed the first half telecast, the live streaming coming out of Kharkiv in Ukraine. You can see the Super League silverware on display in the center of your screen, the bottom of your screen, just above the graphic there. And it's an impressive scoreline after an impressive opening 40 minutes as the two teams take a break. Kharkiv Legion 32, the KIBC LVIV Tigers no score. That's what we've got at halftime here in Kharkiv in this premiership decider of season 2021. Just a reminder, if you join us late, the Kharkiv Legion Club is the oldest and most successful rugby league club in Ukraine. They have dominated the domestic competition since it started. The Ukrainian Rugby League celebrating its 15th birthday effectively here on Grand Final Day. 2 o'clock local time kickoff, and a very good afternoon to everybody in the UK and Ireland who have joined us for our coverage, our live coverage, thanks to the European Rugby League live stream on their Facebook page. Great to have you with us, particularly our friends across the M62 corridor. I know only too well how much you love your rugby league in that part of the world, having lived previously in Halifax and also Bradford. A big shout out to everybody in West Yorkshire, where they love their rugby league, as they also do, of course, on the other side of the Pennines. And I know there are a lot of people looking forward to the Rugby League World Cup in the autumn of 2022, now with less than 12 months to go. As we look at some of the first half highlights for Kharkiv Legion, and there were plenty. That was the opening try to Granovsky. Granovsky getting the try. The end on replay making for lovely viewing for those people cheering on the defending premiers. The Roman numerals, hence the scrum half. And I'll tell you what, he went close to going over that dead ball line. If he was playing in the UK or Australia, New Zealand or France, you probably hear a lot more about it. That's no disrespect to the Ukrainian game. But this was a first half highlight that I think those involved will cherish for a long time. Sherbina, who's a wonderful ball-playing loose forward, and he had the sense and the skill to serve it up on a platter for Puchkov. And didn't he celebrate that four-pointer right under the horns? The end on replay, which we saw earlier, there was plenty of defence there for the LVIV Tigers, but look at this. He got the lever free. They couldn't shut down the ball carrier, and it was the money ball. And Sherbina, he should be very happy with his work so far in the grand final. Looking to make it 13 championships or premiership trophies in a row. A baker's dozen. And the somersault at the end for Puchkov. Here he is again. Sherbina in the headgear. And what a combination between the loose forward and his standoff. I know that our Australian viewers perhaps don't particularly like that, but the game is being played in the Northern Hemisphere. And in that part of the world, the 13 is normally referred to as the loose forward and the 6 as the standoff. But no matter where you live in the rugby league universe, it was lovely to watch. And the try scored by Alexander Skorbach, who is a magnificent player. And I had the privilege of calling the Euro B Championship only recently, last week in fact. Those 3 matches involving the 3 nations, the host nation, Serbia, Russia, and Ukraine. And there was one heck of an exhibition in that match between Ukraine and Russia, where Skorbach was running amok. And I think at the time in calling the match, he was being compared to, or at least I compared him to the likes of Hazam El Masri, the Lebanese-born Canterbury Bulldogs legend, who set plenty of point-scoring records back in the day for club and I dare say country, both the Dogs and the Kangaroos. But also I mentioned Ryan Girdler, who scored a lot of points. In fact, I think it might have been 46 at the Boulevard in Hull in the 2000 World Cup when Australia went on the rampage against Russia. And if I've got that wrong, I apologise. I'm sure people in Rugby League Mad Hull, whether you support Hull FC or Hull KR, perhaps you might be able to send me a message. I'm sure my Twitter page at Costo Jason will light up with plenty of advice after this one. But we hope you've enjoyed the first half so far. Our English-speaking audience getting the opportunity, I dare say, for the very first time to watch the Ukrainian Super League Grand Final and to hear commentary in English. Of course, needless to say, the local audience are getting the broadcast in their native tongue, which is certainly helping to promote rugby league in this part of Eastern Europe, where great steps have been taken over the last 15 years. There's been plenty of achievements on and off the field. And the club that has died, the club that leads on the scoreboard here today, Kharkiv Legion 13, you've got to take your hats off to them on and off the field. Not only have they won no less than 12 championships, that's right, they've won everything on offer in terms of premiership season, plus the cup competition, their version, if you like, of the Challenge Cup, which our Northern Hemisphere audience knows about only too well. But they've also done some excellent work off the field, Kharkiv Legion, with local juniors, participation, and also encouraging people to take a healthy lifestyle. And that is demanded no matter where you live, but certainly in Ukraine, it has won the admiration of local authorities, and including the Kharkiv City Council, the civic administration, has recognised that in the past. I'm Jason Costigan. We have halftime here at the Dynamo Stadium in Kharkiv, and it's Kharkiv Legion 13, the team with the Roman numerals. First time I've ever called a game with a team with Roman numerals. But when in Rome, well, we're not in Rome, we're in Kharkiv, the city that is home to this Legion 13, which has set the benchmark in Ukrainian rugby league ever since it basically started. Next month, happy birthday to the Ukrainian Federation, the UFRL, 15 years and plenty to celebrate, notwithstanding their disappointment, and I know they were, with what happened in Euro B, coming off a short turnaround in that effective championship final in Belgrade against a hot Serbian team, which, as I said during the telecast or the live stream in that first half, they will now go on, the Serbs, to join the likes of England, France, but also Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and Italy at the top table in Euro A. So the two teams will be back out in a moment for the second half. And the LVIV Tigers from the western part of the country with a big job in front of them. That's stating the obvious. 32-0. I can't see them coming back, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. Kharkiv Legion showing no mercy here, and hungry for their 13th premiership trophy. And have a look at it, the silverware, the bottom of your screen. That looks something pretty important no matter what sport you follow. And I'm sure they can't wait to pick up the trophy. And in fact, I dare say that the cabinet makers in Kharkiv, they must be so busy tendering for work from the Kharkiv Legion 13. That trophy cabinet just keeps on expanding. I won't poke fun at any clubs in the professional world of rugby league that don't have such a dilemma. You can draw your own conclusions as to who I might be referring to, but all jokes aside, it's an amazing achievement. Kharkiv Legion winning basically everything on offer, and that incredible record. I haven't got their win-loss record, but I believe that losses have been as rare as snow in the port of Cairns. Now, I'm not sure if many people have been to Cairns, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's in the tropics of Australia, and I'm sure they had snow, but that was when you could walk to what is now Papua New Guinea. Welcome back to our pictures from Kharkiv and in the LVIV Tigers with a big job in front of them, a mountain to climb for the second half. All is set and we're back underway. The second 40 of the Super League Grand Final in Ukraine of 2021. I'm Jason Costigan calling the action here from Kharkiv, and it's the home side after winning the Grand Final this time last year in Lviv, who are well and truly in the box seat. And now they get play to within 10 metres of halfway. And they go to work once more. Kharkiv Legion on the attack. Here's the last dusty pass. Luckily, they've still got it. And they get a kick away. And what's he ruled here? He's going to have a scrum. Well, Alexander Skorbach, he is just a constant thorn in the side, isn't he? Every time the standoff gets the ball, and we see a fumble here from the Lviv Tigers. And there's a round of applause in the background. Don't tell me that Kharkiv have capitalised on this mistake and scored. The mistake from Vaschuk. forcing the scrum, and here they go once more. Kharkiv Legion. Running onto it is Cherniak. He's in 20. On their own goal line, they score. And the shot at goal is on the money. Well, that happened very quickly for me. I didn't see the try. All of a sudden, we jumped at the kick. Here's the replay. And Sherbina just steaming onto the pass. Marshmallow-like defence. And he helps himself to 4 points. This will make for ugly viewing for these people in Western Ukraine, the LVIV Tigers. The pride of the West. Well, their pride will be dented. Sherbina. Outstanding performance from the loose forward. And it is 38-0. A slow walk back to halfway here in Kharkiv. And I'm sure it'll be a long, long trip back to Lviv. They can't even get a ball, let alone a break or a try. Waiting for the ball to come. That probably sums up their afternoon. In a previous life, I actually was a ball boy. And I would have been sacked if that was my service in a grand final. He's no longer with us, but the referee in those days, when I was a young fellow in the north of Queensland, was a gentleman by the name of Barry Gummersall, the grasshopper. And he expected the ball boys to bring the ball out very promptly after every try was scored and the conversion, in an era when there were no such things as goal-kicking tees. So the ball is on the tee. And into the next chapter of the grand final we go. And the kick is a ripper. Works out well here for Lviv. The Tigers finding some open pasture, and Kharkiv Legion showing no sense of urgency there. They were caught out and the ball going over the sideline. So that will constitute a possession here for Lviv Tigers. I'm just checking on the interpretation of the rule in this COVID-19 era. And a big shout out to everybody who's still faced with challenges with COVID-19, with different circumstances in different countries and jurisdictions. Right across the rugby league universe, as we see the Lviv Tigers go on the attack. I can hear the audio, but I can't see the pictures. 38-0's the score, and we've got a try here to Lviv, I believe. Or do we? Our pictures courtesy of KSTV, our host broadcaster. And all I see at the moment is a frozen screen. A frozen screen in Kharkiv. And it is a try to the Lviv Tigers. Got no idea who it was. Pictures are freezing. The temperature's freezing. And up until now, despite all that, Kharkiv, Legion 13, have been running hot. Shot at goal from Cherniak. He's kicked it from a metre or two in from touch. Lovely kick from the sideline as we look at the replay here. From close range. And Korchak is the try scorer. Valentin Korchak from close range, muscling his way to the try line. Great replay here in the end goal, or so it would seem. And you'd have to think, looking at those pictures, the touch judge in good position to provide the advice to the referee. And hence the try was awarded. 38 points to 6. A rare restart from the playmaker for the Kharkiv Legion 13, Alexander Skorbach. LVIV Tigers with their tails up on enemy soil, but they are 32 points in arrears. You'd have to think that Legion 13 have got one hand on the Premiership trophy once more. We've got a whistle now being provided by the referee. Play on's the call. Tigers have got the ball. Just wondering what Denis Chernev was adjudicating. LVIV Tigers have come up with a mistake. Well, that's disappointing. They turn it over 40 metres out from their own goal line. And the 43-year-old man in charge in good position to make the call as we look at the replay. And that was just horrendous. Denis Chernev, the referee, had no option whatsoever but to call a halt to proceedings. And here we go with Legion 13 with the touch finder off the boot of Alexander Skorbach, and they pitch the tent about 22 metres out from the goal line. No breeze or very little, as you can see the corner flag in the southwestern corner of the ground. And it's Kharkiv Legion on the attack. And they're in again. I apologise once more. Our pictures dropped out. I saw nothing. And all of a sudden, Skorbach has the Steeden on the tee. He's looking to kick another one. Normal programming has resumed, at least on the scoreboard, if not on your device. Eight tries to 1. This to make it 44 points to 6. And the kick is on the money. He raises the flags, does Alexander Skorbach. And yes, normal programming has resumed. Grankovsky helps himself to a double. The Legion 13 scrum half from close range, penetrating the line and planting the Steeden on the turf in Kharkiv. Just to restore order, if you like. And now Mikhailo Chernyak. This baby-faced goal kicker for LVIV Tigers, who's had plenty of practice off the tee today. I need some practice off the tee myself, but that's on the golf course. So here we go. I think play has resumed. The picture's about to kick back in. I can hear some movement at the station in the background through my headset. And I suspect Kharkiv Legion have got possession Again, our apologies for the quality of the live stream here coming out of Kharkiv, making life terribly difficult for you people at home or perhaps at work on this Saturday afternoon in the UK, Ireland, in France, across the channel. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the south of France very excited this weekend. Bonjour to you, and for good reason, with the Elite One getting underway, the French domestic competition, and Lesignan, the defending champions there. Congratulations to them on their successes last season as they defend their crown. Of course, bolstered by the arrival of the Australian import, James Maloney, as we see Kharkiv Legion score another try. From close range, it's becoming a picnic in the park in Kharkiv, and the defending champions are just running amok. That is 48 points to 6. And this will make it a half century. Well, this Alexander Skorbach, I don't want to say he's the Tommy Turbo Trebojevic of Ukrainian Rugby League, but he is their standout player in the national competition, the standoff in maroon. 10 in from touch, 19 out from goal, and he has missed it. It remains 48 points to 6 here in Kharkiv on the back of this latest try from close range, head down, bum up, and Semarenko in the headgear gets across the stripe. The referee, Denis Chernev, in good position to make the call. The defense was there, but Semarenko was able to get the ball on the ground. You can see the referee in the background in good field position to make the call. And there was no dissent from a dispirited LVIV. And well done to Semarenko, the nippy number 9 and Ukrainian international. Back underway, yet another restart for the LVIV Tigers. This time Kharkiv Legion, they get to the football on the full, no bouncing ball, which we saw a fair bit of, it must be said, in the international matches played last week in the Euro B Championship. And again, well done to Serbia on qualifying for the Euro A to now take their place alongside England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, France and Italy. And plenty to look forward to there as we see another half break from Sherbina, attracting 3 defenders, and they struggle to put him on the ground. They can't put him on the ground. Eventually we get to play the ball. Kharkiv Legion. And this is Grankovsky. He's already got a brace. Now he's probing for a hole. Nothing forthcoming on this play. Kharkiv Legion looking to score once more to chalk up the half century. On home soil, I'm Jason Costigan. We're broadcasting the Ukrainian Super League Grand Final of season 2021. And here we go, a whistle once more. Kharkiv Legion on the attack. And here's a chip over the top from Skorbach. They get a bounce? No, they don't. Luckily for the LVIV Tigers, they've got the Steeden. But Skorbach, always menacing with the ball and always ready to back himself, and understandably wanting to show some flair when your team's leading the grand final by a whopping 42 points. Penalty goes to the LVIV Tigers. Some relief. But that's like getting Panadol when you need brain surgery. They find the line. And let's give them the opportunity now to see if they can get to double digits. Looks like the ball boys have gone on strike. And the poor old LVIV Tigers have to go and get the Steeden themselves. There's the trophy to the left of your screen in front of the two benches, the Super League Premiership Cup. And the Kharkiv Legion 13 well and truly on course, and they have been for some time, to win it, to win the premiership for the 13th time. An amazing record, isn't it? When you look back at, and I know it's different opposition, different era, different standard of competition. That's a given when you look at Wigan in the north of England and St George in what was the New South Wales Rugby League competition when they won 11 premierships in a row. But this will be 13 on the trot for Kharkiv Legion. That is some achievement, no matter who you're playing against, no matter what sport, no matter what the competition is. The Tigers are on the attack. And today they've been more like kittens than tigers, but they spread the ball, giving the Steeden some oxygen. This is Adamuk, and he engages the defence. He's about 16 out from the goal line. Let's see if they can put the Kharkiv Legion defence under some pressure. The LVIV Tigers. I'm sure their supporters and those from Western Ukraine watching this would like to see it. We've got a whistle here from the referee, from whistleblower Chernev. Play the ball. And the Tigers are on the attack. It comes across to Chernyuk. Chernyuk. Can he pop the ball out the back door? No. 10 metres away. Looking for try number 2. He's on the turf. He gets a close-up. He eventually gets a play of the ball. Kharkiv Legion doing well to slow it down. Hint of a knock on a dummy half. No stoppage. Play on's the call. Now going straight up the middle is one of their big men. That's Lenkivsky. Lenkivsky. That's the try line you can see at the top of your screen. Pauliv is a dummy half in 22. He'll be looking for a ball carrier here to try and crash over from close range. Or perhaps they'll play deep. Our pictures are frozen once more. Near freezing conditions in Kharkiv, and a freezing picture. And after that, we've got Kharkiv Legion on the attack at the other end of the ground. Here they go, the defending champions. This to bring up 50 points. And they do exactly that. And the demolition job continues on home soil in the grand final of 21. $52 points to 6. Just going to try and pick up the number. I think it might have been Zazimko in 5. Very hard to get some continuity here, and we apologise again for the quality of live streaming today or this evening, depending on where you are watching in the rugby league universe. The kick at goal coming up from the Kharkiv Legion playmaker, Alexander Skorbach. He's about a metre or so in from touch. the photographer couldn't get any closer if he tried. Scorbutch, 2 metres in from touch, and the kick is going to be waved away. 10th try of the game. We are watching the replay here. Ball over the top. And it was Zazimko, David Zazimko. A little bit of a shimmy and then a dive at the death, and he scores in the corner. Sherbina, ball playing loose forward. Beautiful skills. And the Tigers defence couldn't stop the number 5, Zazimko. Great pictures in the corner of the winger dotting down. It was 32-0 at half-time if you joined us late on this Saturday afternoon in the UK, mid-afternoon in Eastern Europe, late evening on the eastern seaboard of the Great Southern Land, and into the early hours of Sunday morning in the Shaky Isles and throughout the Pacific Islands. Lovely to have your company. And notwithstanding the technical issues, we trust you've enjoyed the live stream from Kharkiv here in Ukraine. And it's the defending champions on the back of that restart, going back to work in cruise control. 52 points to 6. An incredible scoreline from a team that is set to pick up the trophy, the end of season spoils, for the 13th time in a row. I did mention in commentary earlier on that some years ago that they actually played in the Russian Super League. That was going back in, in 2008. So well and truly before the Russian game went into hibernation. I might have got that wrong earlier on, but in the World Cup year of 2008, I remember the year very well because we had the privilege of calling the World Cup that year. As we see Sherbina going wide, pass goes astray, that's a knock on, and breaks down for Kharkiv Legion. The year that Benji Marshall, now retired of course, and what a great ornament to the game Benji has been. 19 years of top flight rugby league or top flight sport across the two codes as we watch the replay of the play breaking down for the premiers in waiting. And that's exactly what they are. Top two teams in the competition going head to head. The playoff for third place, in fact, will be played tomorrow, Sunday afternoon. Good luck to both teams. If you want to know more, check out the UFRL social media platforms, the Ukrainian Federation of Rugby League, the Ukrainian game on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. As we see a little bit of aggression coming out of the LVIV Tigers. Man playing the ball not too happy with something that may have happened in the tackle. And it's LVIV getting played down towards where they need to be, but it's Kharkiv Legion in possession. Geni Veprik, the coach of Kharkiv Legion, deserves praise, but so too does the inaugural coach, Ata Matarossian, as we see a bust here from Kharkiv Legion. Look at them go once more, opening them up, going straight through them like a bad curry. They're falling off tackles, the Tigers. They're more like pussycats. And now some desperate defence. Scorbutch goes to ground, but it took some time. They're at sixes and sevens here. the LVIV Tigers. Legion thundering upfield. That's Yerkin. Giant man, isn't he? He got that lever free, and I was just holding my breath waiting for the pass. They spread the ball out wide. Legion on the attack. Here's Verprick. Ball goes astray. Who's picking up the scraps? Kharkiv Legion have got it. Referee Chernev has the arm extended. That means it's the last play on this possession coming up for the defending champions, the home team. Skorbach puts up a bomb. My goodness, that will bring snow here in Kharkiv. Who's going to defuse this? Nobody. It's a bouncing ball. And look at this. Away goes the flying winger. And he goes in to score once more. The try to Zazimko. He goes zip, zip on the back of the bomb. A bomb that LVIV didn't want to touch with a barge pole. Big up and under it was. And on the back of that, Zazimko grabs his second try of the afternoon. Fortuitous bounce. And I've never seen that before. There was a cameraman in the end goal adjacent to the upright. Well, I've seen everything now. Eastern European Rugby League at its finest. Talk about making sure you get the pictures at home, on your device, on your desktop, your laptop, whatever. Cameraman in the end goal. Unbelievable. Can just imagine what they're thinking, those people who run the English Super League, the Betfred Super League, or the Telstra Premiership that is the NRL. Now, I'm not sure if the shot at goal was converted. I'm pretty sure it was. So it's 58-6. 58 points to 6 it is, unless we get told otherwise. It has been one hell of a hiding here for the LVIV Tigers. You've got to feel sorry for them to some degree. I expected a much closer contest, I got to say. And look at this. Kharkiv Legion going straight up Main Street, and a tackle that had to be made at the back. That was Adamuk, and it comes to nothing because Kharkiv Legion are in again. Pictures freezing up. And again, our apologies for that. This to make it 64-6. Got no idea who scored the try. Well done to Dennis Chernev, the referee today, who's kept up with the play pretty well. And congratulations to him and his colleagues with the flags today. The shot at goal from out wide, waved away. Well, I'm losing count here of the score. I'm running out of paper. And when you're the Lone Ranger, this has become awfully difficult. Here's another try. Here we go again. Verprick plants the ball down. And this is getting out of control for the LVIV Tigers. Sherbina, if the standoff isn't the man of the match, it's the man with the ball. He has just been dynamite. I thought we might have seen some scores come up during the broadcast here to help us on our way to keep up, and I apologise for this because we're doing it all on our own here, to state the obvious. And I feel like I'm actually part of the LVIV team. But not to worry, we soldier on. We hope you've enjoyed the live stream, notwithstanding these challenges and the kickoff practice that has been afforded the LVIV Tigers all afternoon. The kickoff is, well, they make a meal of it. Can you believe it? Kharkiv Legion have given the LVIV Tigers an opportunity to come up with points here. Let's see what LVIV have got. They're only about 5 metres out, looking for a crash and barge way to the try line. They're close enough if they're good enough. Battle stations here for Kharkiv Legion. They haven't needed to defend like this for most of the contest. The pass comes across now to this number 30 out wide, and he scores for the Tigers. Cherniak gets across the line, and he's been a shining light in a well-beaten side. He'll have a chance to convert his own try. A metre in from touch. Mikhailo Cherniak. And apologies to our Ukrainian friends and our Ukrainian expats who are no doubt perhaps watching this live stream in various places around the Rugby League universe. If we have been a little bit off the money with our pronunciations, we've done the best we could under the circumstances. We only got the teams as we see the kick waved away literally moments before we went live to air. So the deciduous trees in the background, it's a picture postcard setting. Lovely time of the year as those trees change colours and eventually lose their leaves, but not losing his desire to compete right to the end is Mikhailo Cherniak, and he scores Lviv's second try of the afternoon. Scorebutch sends us into the next pack play. Full time cannot be too far away. And again, on behalf of the Ukrainian Rugby League Federation, the UFRL, our sincere thanks for the opportunity to showcase your biggest game on the calendar to Arta Matarussian, the Federation boss, who coached Kharkiv Legion in those early days before handing over the coaching job to Geni Veprik. Our sincere thanks and gratitude. And of course, our host broadcaster, KSTV, to Vitali and the team on the ground, our camera operators, including the gentleman in the in goal who was, I couldn't believe it. Never have I ever seen anything like that before. And I'm sure many of our viewers will concur with that as we see a mistake here from the Legion side, or the Lviv side, I beg your pardon. I'm pretty sure it's 64 points to 8. It was 32-0 at half-time. And that will be a scrum. A reminder, if you want to learn more about Ukrainian Rugby League, they are very active on social media. In fact, you can check out the Ukrainian Rugby League, the Ukrainian Federation of Rugby League, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And they also have their Rugby 13 website, which is available in different languages, not just in Ukrainian, nor just in English for that matter. Check it out as we see LVIV Tigers showing some adventure with the Steeden, trailing 64 points to 8 by my count. I may be wrong. Running out of paper, and we're running out of time. They cross into enemy territory to the LVIV Tigers. All afternoon, as you time of the year, in Kharkiv, in northeastern Ukraine. On the National Rugby League calendar, the visiting possession, still chipping away, looking for their third try of the afternoon here at the Dynamo Stadium in the city of Kharkiv, the second largest city in Ukraine behind the capital Kiev. Tigers spreading the Steeden. Let's see what they've got. Picture's starting to freeze up once more. Tigers spreading the ball out wide, looking to engage the edge defence, the right side edge defence. This is the 20. Bonalachuk, I believe, is his name. 38 metres away, the Tigers looking for a consolation try. Nothing more, nothing less. Poliv, a dummy half in 22, providing the service for Vaschuk. Igor Vaschuk, part of the 4 representatives from LVIV Tigers, if memory serves me right, who are backing up from international duty last week in the Euro B tournament when they went within 4 points of putting 100 on Russia. Not the first time Russia would have copped a scoreline like that. Here we go. And it's another try. Or is it at the end? It is another try to Kharkiv Legion. And I think that may well be full time in the background. I suspect it could be 68 points to 8. I can hear a whistle. And now I see Scorbutch lining up a kick. So the numbers are in the frame. And we're just waiting for confirmation on the score because it's just blowing out here in a spectacular way. I suspect the most lopsided grand final I've ever called. And I've called plenty of them on television or for television and radio. In Australia, as we see the pass before the line. And the try scorer, Samarenko. Well, I haven't been asked to give my 3, 2 and 1 today, but the man in possession gets 3 points in Scorbutch. But if you want to give it to the loose forward in Sherbina, I don't have any problem. You can flip them for the 3 or the 2, depending on which way you want to look at it. And I think the number 9 in Dmitry Samarenko gives the 1 point. That's Costo's 3, 2 and 1, if you like. Scorbutch for man of the match. The standoff, Alexander Scorbutch. I'm going to give it to him for his dazzling display. The forward certainly laying a platform, but Scorbutch for mine, getting the man of the match in the grand final, but not too far behind him, Alexander Sherbina at the base of the scrum, the loose forward, and the dummy half. Dmytro Samarenko getting my 1 point, and what has been a lopsided affair here in the Ukrainian Super League Grand Final of 2021. Kharkiv Legion on home soil. Our pictures courtesy of KS TV in Kharkiv, second largest city in the country, and that is full time on a day to remember. Defending champions, they have crushed LVIV Tigers 66 points to 10 to make it 13 premierships in a row. Can you believe it? What a record. Great domination, great victory, another great premiership. The two teams embrace at full time. It was 32-0 at half time and 10 at the final siren. 66 points to 10 at full time. Scorebutch with a scintillating display. He was absolutely brilliant in the shellacking of Russia in Euro B. That chip and chase he scored in Belgrade, I will not forget for a long, long time. And at the domestic level, that's the trophy that he and his team have had a mortgage on, and they continue to hold it. Well done to LVIV Tigers for bravely battling on, it must be said, from the western part of the country, not too far from the Polish border. It's been a long expedition here today as we look at some of the highlights. Scorebutch, so involved, setting up this try early on for his loose forward in Skurbina. They were just deadly, those two. What a combination. The 6 and the 13, the standoff and the loose forward, and the man in the headgear on this occasion here on this replay getting across the stripe. Lovely inside ball here on this occasion. And the tries, they just kept on coming for Kharkiv Legion against a very flimsy LVIV Tigers defence, it must be said. In single-digit temperatures, LVIV were icy cold and Kharkiv Legion were hot to trot. Our pictures again, courtesy of KS TV to Vitali and the team. Our thanks. That mistake there, symbolic of the afternoon for LVIV Tigers. Plenty of mistakes, plenty of drop ball, and plenty of opportunities for the defending champions to ram home their advantage on so many occasions. I'm not sure if we're going to take the presentation of the trophy, but it may well be time for me to wrap up proceedings here for our English-speaking audience. You have been watching the Ukraine Super League Grand Final of 2021, and full-time score 66 points to 10 to Kharkiv Legion as they make it 13 premierships in a row. But for now, on behalf of our production team in Kharkiv, particularly Vitali and the crew on the ground from KSTV, I'm Jason Costigan bidding you farewell from Kharkiv. We trust you've enjoyed the live stream from the Ukraine today, and we'll catch you next time. But for now, congratulations to Kharkiv Legion 13, premiers again in season 2021.
Все, господа, спасибо большое.
Президент Украинской Федерации регби-лиг Артур Артурович Мартиросян.
Доброго дня, шановні
Учасники
Вице-президент Украинской Федерации регби-лиг, депутат Харьковского городского совета Михайлович.
Владимир Николаевич Михайлов, наш первый вице-президент.
Также первый заместитель Харьковской областной организации «Динамо», депутат Харьковского городского совета Кириленко Виталий Владимирович. И исполнительный директор Украинской Федерации регби-лиг Роман Олегович Быхов. Также по результатам сегодняшнего матча хотелось бы наградить лучших игроков с каждой команды. Это Валентин Корчак, команда LVIV TIGERS.
Давай, где нас фотографируют? Здесь? Спасибо. Спасибо. Прийдеться.
А также хотелось бы наградить лучшего игрока в команде Легион 13 Скорвач Александр.
Alexander Skorbach coming forward now. I'm not sure if you're still with us on the European Rugby League Facebook page, but the captain, playmaker of Kharkiv Legion coming forward here, receiving his personal spoils of victory. Well played, Alexander. Great entertainment from you, my friend. Lovely to have the opportunity to call you once more.
Будем награждать, да. Пойдемте награждать.
So the runners-up medals now being presented to the Legion, the LVIV Tigers, I beg your pardon, and the Legion 13 waiting to hold aloft the spoils of victory. But still a great achievement for these players on screen to finish runners-up to the big dance, as we would say, the grand final, ahead of their opponents, decked out in their Tigers playing strip based on the Castleford Tigers. And again, hats off to the English clubs that have partnered with the various clubs in Ukraine Rugby League, including CAS. And the runners-up medallions being presented to each and every player who has participated in the contest today. A drone across the ground providing pictures. We had cameras everywhere today, despite the technical problems. And here it is, the Premiership Trophy. And Skorbach lifts up the silverware, something that he has become so accustomed to the delight of his teammate from Kharkiv Legion 13. They do it again. They make it 13 on the trot. Great moment it is. For Kharkiv Legion, the oldest club and the most successful club by a country mile here in Ukraine, in northeastern Ukraine, in the second most populous city, Kharkiv, the home side, reigning supreme, and the maestro at the front of the queue there, Alexander Skorbach. It was a thrill to call him, particularly in that game against Russia, that chip and chase that he scored early on in the game, backing himself. That was Tommy Turbo-like. It was brilliant. And I'm sure he has plenty of highlights on his show reel over the years for both club and country. Great to see Land Rover, that iconic name in the automobile industry, adorning the jerseys of Kharkiv Legion above and beyond. As the logo says, well, this club has gone above and beyond expectations.
наша гордість, і ми сподіваємося побачити ще яскравішу гру від вас наступного сезону і у складах ваших команд, і у складі національної збірної. Дякуємо вам.
Well, perhaps next time we call this game, if we get an opportunity to call another grand final in the Ukraine, we can have someone who can join me, who can speak Ukrainian, to provide an insight into what's been said here, but certainly tremendous goodwill between the two
І ще у
teams.
нас є додаткові призи. Ще додаткові призи для гравців обох команд. Їх вручить голова департаменту молоді та спорту Харківської області Константин Ананченко для харківської команди і виконавчий директор Української федерації регбі-ліг Роман Бихов для львівської команди.
Наконец-то они обрадовались.
So some light-hearted moments, no doubt, here at the post-match presentation. And look at this, no matter what country it is, no matter what the culture, and especially in rugby league, there's always some refreshments not too far away after the final siren. Some amber fluid, and I'm sure it'll be flowing in the locker rooms, the dressing sheds. Happy days for Kharkiv Legion 13. I know that, as I said during the commentary today, that the City Council is very proud of this club. In fact, they use the term sporting metropolis, if memory serves me right, in what Kharkiv Legion 13 has done for the city in raising its profile. And I'm sure plenty of people in the English-speaking world who love their rugby league, who've joined us for the broadcast, for the live stream, I suspect if they do go into Eastern Europe at some stage and get the opportunity to visit this country, they will no doubt go to Kharkiv and check out the city that is second in population only to the capital Kiev, and of course the home of this famous rugby league club. 13 premierships in a row, and the cabinet maker will be called in once more in the run-up to Christmas, I dare say, to expand the trophy cabinet once more. What a great problem to have. I'm sure there's a lot of clubs, as I said earlier, that do not have any such dilemmas. You can draw your own conclusions as to which ones I'm alluding to, particularly in the professional arena, and that applies to both the northern and the southern hemispheres. But this is a lovely moment that in rugby league in the southern hemisphere that, well, we don't see much of, particularly in Australia. And of course it is very different in the rugby league world, wherever you go, from the South Pacific to the south of France, and from North Queensland to North America. But this is so lovely to see the two combatants coming together after a tough game and a fair game. I didn't pick up on any foul play at all during the contest. Hats off again to the match officials for their work today, not only for today in the grand final, but of course the playoff for third place tomorrow, in keeping with the tradition that is in the Ukrainian rugby league community. The playoff for third place is in fact tomorrow, but well done to everybody involved over the course of the 2021 season, with of course so many other competitions falling by the wayside, others in hibernation, such as neighbouring Russia, where the game needs to start crawling once more before getting back on its feet. So hats off to the Ukrainian Federation of Rugby League on the exhibition that they have been able to bring together today, thanks to the players themselves, the gladiators, who have put on one hell of a show as the two teams now head towards their respective dressing rooms on this very cold afternoon in Kharkiv in northeastern Ukraine. A lovely setting here at the Dynamo Stadium, and Kharkiv Legion 13, they were dead set dynamite. the changing of the seasons with those deciduous trees around the stadium, making for a picture postcard setting as the champions pose for plenty of photographs post-match. And so they should, because today, on this Saturday afternoon, on home soil, they have won the silverware for the 13th time in a row. Nobody else has come close to them. And today, well, it was just normal programming continuing. LVIV Tigers from Western Ukraine making the long trip, but all to no avail. Kharkiv Legion 13 scoring a big win, a massive win, 66 points to 10 at the final siren. Well, that is, in fact, all we have time for in our live stream today from Kharkiv on what has been a big day for Ukrainian Rugby League. And again, hats off to the UFRL on bringing the season together. And again, congratulations to the champions, 13 in a row. Can you believe it? Kharkiv Legion 13, 66-10 winners over LVIV Tigers. Time for us to sign off. It's been a great challenge today, but a great privilege to bring you English commentary of the Ukrainian Super League Grand Final of season 2021 on behalf of our team at KSTV and our people on the ground in Kharkiv. I'm Jason Costigan, bidding you a very good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are, perhaps good morning, but we'll catch you next time, I hope, for more Ukrainian Rugby League. Bye for now.